DK.
Golfcast.
Presented by Bones Brothers Media.
What up, golf fam? It is a Tuesday afternoon in the University City, and it is showtime. Welcome into the program. My name is Ed. You can follow me on Twitter and TikTok at GolfGuyWV. And if you like Scotty Scheffler, like we like Scotty Scheffler on this podcast, then you are one of us. One of us. Big hit last week, Bones DK. Scotty Scheff, another win. And you got to be feeling good about your boy right now, huh?
Yeah, I took a little risk by saying he was a top play in the 10K range, and it ended up paying off. I went 6 for 6 in the 555 without Scotty and actually bubbled by about 3 points. I cashed in every other lineup that I had with Scotty and everyone else. So, just like a few points off of winning big. But, yeah, I had Scotty, and a lot of our friends did, too. A lot of winners coming through on my text thread of Scotty winning. So a lot of people winning on the Scotty run right now.
TW Man joining us from Florida. We're going to talk perhaps the most famous golf tournament in Florida each and every year here in just a few minutes. But revisiting what we had last week, only 5 under par. A lot of guys complaining about the difficulty and the setup that the PGA has going right now. You've done some course analysis on TPC Sawgrass. Is it going to be a lot of the same this week? Are guys going to be complaining that they're not getting rewarded with good shots? It's penal out there.
Well, it's your boy Rory who's
it is
most of the complaining, right? I mean, look, the average winning score of the last 10 events on tour has been 18 under par. So, you're going to find some conditions that get a little tough and get a little windy. There is rain, there is cold temperatures, and there is wind gusts of 20 plus coming this week. So I would expect to see something under 10 under par hoisting the trophy again. So, it's still golf, right?
I'll own my Rory comment. There's no doubt about it. He seems to be the one that is leading the charge in the course difficulties because Rahm said, hey, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the challenge. So this week in Florida, though, Players Championship, of course, the 5th major is what a lot of people call it. And we revisit the TPC Sawgrass, maybe the most famous golf course in the world. Many of us have played it many times on video games. You just mentioned, though, perhaps the biggest thing about the TPC this weekend, and it's going to be wet conditions and it's going to be windy on Saturday and Sunday. So talk a little bit about the setup. What's the length going to be like? And what are the kind of the big stats or the key elements of a golf game you're going to need to win here at the Sawgrass this week?
Yeah, this event has always been set up to reward shot shaping and being creative off the tee. It's a Pete Dye design, so you're going to have a lot of less than driver out here. It's a par 72 that's traditional with 4 par 3s and 4 par 5s. A lot of dog legs. And a lot of positional tee shots where not only do you need to hit it straight, but you want to be on the correct side of the fairway to be able to play into the dog leg or the angle. Now, the forecast as it is today is that 80+% rain Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Wet conditions always make courses longer. It's not an overly long course as it is now, but it will play a little bit longer. Might force some guys to hit driver where ordinarily they wouldn't because of the risk, just because of the soggy conditions. The greens, however, I don't know if you guys even know this, they have a built-in system underneath that can dry out the greens to whatever stimp they want for the most part within about 45 minutes to an hour. It's very unique because this course is a PGA Tour-owned course. So the greens shouldn't, despite the conditions as far as rain goes, shouldn't be affected too much, depending on what the PGA Tour decides to do, right? They could leave them soggy and let some darts go in there, but that'll be something to watch for too. But again, I would expect tough conditions. We're going to want ball strikers. There's a ton of water. There's bunkers, and there's trouble off the tee if you're hitting driver almost everywhere.
It is the 5th major, Bones DK, so you expect the cream of the crop to be here. The Saudis tried to yank a lot of these guys away with money. And this prize pool that we have at the Players this week is like something we've never seen. $20 million prize purse. I think the top 3 guys become millionaires. Last place is $43,000, and I think 36 players are going to get paid out in 6-digit six-digit sums. So this field is loaded. As I said, a few of these guys tried to break for the Saudi League not long ago. That imploded, but the money is there. So this top tier is incredible. John Rahm leads our way again at 11-1. Rory at 10-8. Colin Morikawa at 10-7. JT at 10-4. Hovland at 10-1. Those are our five-digit guys. Who wants the money, Bones DK? Anybody in this top tier?
Man, this is going to be such a great tournament. This is what we've been waiting for. And like you said, the early tournaments were kind of birdie fest and just kind of like weird tournaments. This is the tournament we've been waiting for. Finally, some guys are down to the 8K range, which I love. That they're like top, 15, 20 players in the world. So this is going to be really fun. We got John Rahm. I think there's two guys I really like here in this range. It is Colin Morikawa and Justin Thomas. I do like Rory. But Colin Morikawa just feels like a Morikawa week, doesn't it? $3 million up top. The top three guys are millionaires this week. This is crazy. Why don't they have better coverage for us? If top three guys are making $1 million, clearly golf is rising, and they're starting to be able to pay these guys like this. So it'd be nice to get some red zone golf coming here for the fans if we're going to keep gambling on this. But Colin Morikawa, I love him. Only 5 bogeys at the Genesis. And, second place is only in his only start in the 2022 season so far, excluding the Century. But, man, a fifth and a second. Look at his approach. Look at his off the tee. This is the biggest tournament outside of a major, and I think Colin Morikawa is just destined to win this tournament. JT, I really do like him a lot. His stats are there. But there has never been a back-to-back winner at the Players, and I just don't think with the competition this year, JT is going to be able to go back-to-back and break history. But his stats are there as well, gaining 0.2 at a really difficult Genesis course. A lot of green there. So JT, Colin Morikawa are my top 2 plays in this range.
It sounds like the PGA is listening to the players, though, TW, man. I mean, quite honestly, they are throwing money at this event. They're trying to perhaps get more coverage for us, hopefully, in the future here. Maybe get the players some of their media rights and things like that. That's neither here nor there. Who do you like in this top tier?
Well, there's one important thing that both of you guys are hinting at that is happening this week because, again, this event is owned by the PGA Tour and the players. This is by far the best coverage of the season. NBC and Golf Channel will have the normal feed, but through ESPN Plus and PGA Tour Live, you will be able to follow any player shot for shot on TV throughout the round. So
that's
you'll be
phenomenal.
Thursday morning.
That's going to revolutionize this. Once we get that, it's like giving something away for free. Once you get it for free, you'll never not want it for free. Once we get that, we're never not going to want that. And I think we'll be willing to pay for that also.
Yeah, I believe you can even split screen it. So I think you can get 2 groups of anybody on the course that you want to see live. So this is definitely revolutionary. The old timers, aren't really adjusting that quickly to it, but the players seem to understand it.
So we can follow whoever we want. Who are you following in that top tier, Wildman?
Yeah, this kind of feels like 2003, the World Series of Poker, right? Where Chris Moneymaker, it reestablished the poker world, and the prize pools just went crazy. 3.6 million guys. Scotty Scheffler just won last week for 2 million, 2.1. 2 weeks prior when he played, he won the Waste Management for 1.5. Those 2 wins equal what first place is winning this week. So I do agree that we might be calling Colin Morikawa Colin Moneymaker this week. To say that these guys don't play for money, we say it all the time, is crazy. Wet conditions are going to demand better accuracy, and they're going to demand the driver. If there's anybody that needs to hit the driver accurate off the tee, I will take Morikawa to do that in tough conditions. And look, let's not sugarcoat it. He's the best iron player on planet Earth right now. That combination should lead him to be able to avoid the big numbers and be in contention. It seems like any time the big money and the big action is on the line, he's there. So definitely we'll be supporting Morikawa this week. But it's a tough price to pay, certainly. But he, I think, is my clear favorite up top here.
$9,000 tier, we have Cantlay at 99, Dustin Johnson at 98. Wow. That's low for DJ, man. Schauffele at 97. That's also low. Matsuyama at 96. Cam Smith, 94. Scotty Scheffler, two-time winner on tour already this year, 92. Yikes. And then Spieth at 9,000. Man, this is a tough tier here, Bones. Of course, DeChambeau out this week. Who do you like in this $9,000 tier?
This is a wild tier here. DJ at 9.8. He's getting low enough to maybe want to play him here soon. We love DJ. I love DJ. He's just not there for me right now. I mean, his bogey avoidance is okay, but who the hell knows what he's up to right now? I mean, he's done it. He's won his stuff. There's a new wave of PGA Tour golfers coming in, and I think they're going to push DJ out of the way here soon. I'm serious. I mean, I know he's one of the best golfers in the world, but you got Cam Smith, Scotty Scheffler down here. What were we going to say, Edge?
You heard it here first. Hot take.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's, Patrick Cantlay, 9.9. Yeah, obviously I love Cantlay. He doesn't have amazing history here, but he's a different player these days. I mean, he's just on a different level. I think Patrick Cantlay will definitely contend. But the way I'm building my DraftKings lineups is either going to be around Morikawa or drop even lower into this 8K range and do an extremely balanced build this week. And I'll explain later why in the podcast. But there is one guy I do like a lot in this range besides Scotty Scheffler, who we absolutely love. And I think, yes, go back to him, even though he only has a missed cut in his only appearance here. It's Xander Schauffele. I think he's very sneaky this week, man. Coming, great off the tee stats. His irons are there. And kind of like sneakily having great finishes in 2022 so far. Nothing worse than a 34th with a top 3 in there, a 13 at the Genesis, a tough course. So I haven't completely built my lineup yet, but Xander Schauffele, even starting with him, I don't think anybody is going to do that. So I think that's something to look at this week.
Bones DK is talking about a balanced build. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of balance in this $9,000 tier, though, Wild Man. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Rob's take on DJ, I'm not going to say it's a hot take. I'm going to say it's a cold take. He just had his bachelor party. Him and Miss Gretzky were out having dual parties. So DJ was out partying on a boat a few days ago.
He doesn't even know what tournament it is right now. He's out on a boat. He's like, hey, what is it, the Players?
See, I disagree. I'll play the other narrative.
Okay.
That he was looking forward to that party and looking forward to, getting loose. And hopefully they don't drug test him before the event. But,
that's true.
No, look at those bogey avoidance numbers, man. He's still there tee to green. His putter has just been, abysmal since the turn of the new year. So, always a guy under 10K
has really good history here.
Come on, yeah. I mean, he's a cut player typically, so we do like to play the right to left ball flight at this tournament. That's one knock I have on him, as well as the bad putter. But man, if he just has his head cleared now that he got to get out and get a little loose for a week or so, look out, man. DJ, he can with a wedge. There are some wedge shots, despite there being some long iron shots too. He can really get hot and was trending great towards the COVID.
Just party that poor play right out of his system there, huh?
Exactly.
That's the wild man take. That's the alternate theory.
Yeah, I think Schauffele is an interesting play too, especially if the conditions are as tough as we think. But let's just hit on our guy, right? Scheffler, he's 92. He's number 5 in the world. Goes head-to-head with John Rahm 6 months ago at the Ryder Cup. Pounds him. Right? More top 2s, more top 5s, top 7s, top 20s. Wins. I can't, okay, got the monkey off his back. Top 7. 2 weeks later, the biggest prize of the season, Arnie's event, Invitational. Grinds it out with even par in brutal conditions for another win. $9,200 for the number 5 player in the world who statistically and money-wise and trophy-wise is playing better than any other human being in the last couple of months. At 9,200, he doesn't have to win. So all day long, I'll fire up Scheffler again.
How does Scheffler play in the wind? Is he a decent wind player?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say that for sure just because of the sample size, but tough conditions, he's producing good results. He's done it at the U.S. Open. He's done it at Memorial. He's done it at Arnold's event. He's done it at the Ryder Cup up north. So yeah, I'll take it all day long. And I mean, clearly he can do it anyway. He won at 16 under, and then he won at 5 under.
You may understand why Bones DK is interested in this $8,000 range for the balanced build, because there's not a whole lot not to like here. You've got Zalatoris at 8.9, Berger at 8.8, Oosthuizen at 8.7. I think Koepka could be sneaky this week at 8.6. He rises up for the biggest events, and he loves money also. Finau at 8.5, Neiman 8.4, M 8.3, Scott 8.2, Horschel 8.1. And Lowry, 8,000. I never really had much of an opinion on Billy Horschel, but this year I'm not digging the guy. And he's got that pre-shot thing too that you find more annoying than anything, right? Who do you like in this $8,000 range, Bones?
Yeah, Billy Horschel, he's a good guy. I don't mind him. He has a weird putting stroke, which is apparently is working. I'm not going to get on Billy this week because of this 8K range. I love this range, man, and here's why. We're talking about U.S. Open kind of corollary course here, like just tough conditions. Zalatoris, Daniel Berger, Oosthuizen, Brooks Koepka, all great U.S. Open contenders. They all have like top 5s, top 9s, top 10s at these tournaments. Zalatoris arguably has better stats than Scottie Scheffler. I mean, look at him on approach. Look at him off the tee. Good finishes at the U.S. Open. RBC Heritage, of course, he likes. And he just struggles with this putter here. He is like the definition of just make a few putts and he's going to win a tournament, right? And you saw that at the Farmers when he missed that short one to win. That's what you're going to have to gamble on this week. If you're willing to gamble on his putter, then yeah, fire him up because he is going to contend in this tournament. There's no doubt about it. Daniel Berger, he's like a freaking robot. I mean, this dude is just 300 down the fairway, 20 foot for birdie, and might make it or might not. And he's great around the green, especially if you come down to his stats here. I mean, these are type of guys I want to gamble on in a tournament that's going to be really difficult. And if you can just build in 5 very good golfers, there's ways to do damage at this tournament. I love Daniel Berger. I mean, look at what he's doing. There's no signs of failing for Daniel Berger. Louis Oosthuizen, another guy. I don't want to take all the guys in the AK range, but man, I just love this range. Louis just seems to come up in big tournaments as well. And Brooks Koepka, yeah, I mean, again, big money on the line. Brooks Koepka is a guy I like. So I like all 4 of these guys. I'm not lying. I love all 4 of them.
And let's not also forget with Koepka, the 4 names that Bones DK loves so much. He said a bunch of them have top 5s, top 7s, top 10s. Koepka's the only one that lifted the trophy at the U.S. Open, and he's done it twice. Does that do anything for you, TW man, this week?
It does. It does a lot, actually. In fact, of all 4 of those guys, and you make great points on all of them. I mean, Berger's gained in irons 90% of his last 40 rounds. I think he's only lost strokes gained on approach in a handful of rounds in his last 40. Zalatoris has been a stud tee to green. He's a guy if he can gain 2-stroke putting, he could win. Can he? I don't know. Oosthuizen always in the biggest spots when the biggest money is on the line. You don't have to look too far down the leaderboard. But for me, as far as value goes, I'll take the guy that's a 4-time major winner, that's won WGCs, that's got top 10 finishes here, and a guy that can move it right to left. He's playing sneaky good. Don't forget, guys, he had knee surgery several months back that was, even hobbling him around the course, preventing him from reading putts accurately or from the catcher's position, if you will. So, guy that's finally getting healthy. And like you said, golfers tend to get this gentleman, mantra to them. And I don't see that out of Koepka. I think he's kind of a you-know-what. And this kind of money, I think he wants the stats. I think he wants the trophies. I think he wants the accolades. And I know he wants the cash. So I'll take him. And then let me ask you this question, Edge. What were you doing in 2011? What state were you in? Can you even
I was in West Virginia. I've always been in West Virginia since 2001.
Well, to the viewers, think about what you were doing in 2011, because that's the last time Adam Scott missed the cut at the Players. He's played every year since then, hasn't missed the cut since then. Now, when you Google him, make sure that you select pro golfer and not actor, because Derek from Step Brothers, the guy who's Will Ferrell's brother is also Adam Scott. But no, the conditions played tough here in 2017, and Adam Scott was right there in contention. Again, made 13 straight cuts here, so I think 13 straight, but several obviously since 2011. So a guy I'd be looking at 8,200 as well.
Had a lot more hair and a lot more hope back in 2011. That's for sure. Probably a lot more potential as well. I don't normally like to read the $7,000 tier off, but I have to because these are guys that we talk about on this podcast all the time. Burns at 79, Hatton at 78, Fitzy at 77, Webb at 76, Answer at 76, Homa at 75, Leishman at 75, Day 75, Fleetwood 74, Woodland, sneaky good lately, 74. The guy that's pretty much done it all here, finished in every place, maybe better history than Adam Scott, Wildman, Sergio Garcia at 74. So, Bones, again, I hate to read all those names off. There's a ton there. Who do you like under the $8,000 tier? Because there seems to be a lot of value here, too.
A lot of value. I do like a lot of guys. I was huge on Terrell Hatton last week. He was my survivor.
Rose at 73 also. I don't mean to interrupt you, but Rose at 73,
yeah,
U.S. Open winner. And he's got a runner-up, I think, at the U.S. Open also.
Yeah, well, that's the old wave of golfers, right? You can go into history all you want, but yeah, pick Justin Rose if you want. I'm going with the young bucks ready to shoot. But yeah, Terrell Hatton was one of my top plays last week. I picked him in my one and done, I guess you would call it, survivor, which I'm leading, by the way, out of 20 people. I'm the only guy to have 0 X's and have the winner, so good start there. Terrell Hatton was my pick. He was in solo second, and you like him at tougher conditions, right? I don't know what happened to him on Saturday. I was kind of busy, actually. I wasn't really paying attention. I looked up, and he was 6 over. Total letdown out of Hatton at the end of the day, but, got through on the cut, so I'm still surviving there. Matthew Fitzpatrick, to me, seems like by far the lowest or the best value here. I don't know if he's a chalky pick or not, but coming off of 4 straight top 10s with really good history at the Players, and you just like him in tough conditions. He's almost like a robot as well. He just doesn't make double bogeys, and he's just so consistent. He came in 9th place and only had 7 birdies, right? But had an eagle in there and 0 double bogeys in some of the hardest conditions that anyone's even played in. Scotty Scheffler had 13 bogeys and won the tournament. So you just see how consistent Fitzpatrick is. So I really like him in this top 7K range. He's probably one of the easiest plays I've seen in a while. I wouldn't even overlook it if he was like 8,500 this week. So Fitzpatrick is my top value play. I do like guys in the low 7K range. I don't know if we're getting there or not, but those are my top plays in the top 7K range.
I was actually going to read off 6 more names here, TW Man, that are under 72. These are under 72. Power, Gooch, Kisner, Straka, Harmon. I know Harmon gets a bad rap, but I mean, he like we talked about, it was last year or the year before. He's freaking playing in the final pairing or the final 4 of the U.S. Open.
Well, yeah, I mean, Harmon's got back-to-back top 10s here at the Players as well. When you think Florida golf, you think sunshine and 75, no clouds, not a breath of wind. Guys, it's going to be like highs of mid-50s with rain and wind out here. It's going to play pretty miserable out there on the weekend. In those conditions, I always like to favor the Euros. I do like Fitzpatrick. I think that he is much, much, much better than 7,700 in this field, I would say. But Answer hasn't had a putter. Leishman, Jason Day's mother unfortunately just passed away, so I would keep an eye on him if you're interested in him. He may end up not calling it. Might end up calling it quits here early this week. But I'll go down to Siwoo Kim, who is a former champion here. Has made the cut in all 5 appearances here. Has played Pete Dye tracks well, like the Amex, like the Wyndham, like the RBC. And a guy that, I expect can play pretty well. When the conditions were tougher than typical in 2017, guess who raised the trophy? Siwoo Kim raised the trophy. And that kind of piggybacks me to Harmon, too. Like, yeah. I mean, yeah. he's done it at majors. Guys, since like 1984 at this event, there's been 2 players that didn't either have multiple top 5s in majors or 8 PGA Tour wins. So it tells you that you got to be solid to win here. Those 2 guys were Siwoo Kim and some guy named like Craig Perks in like 92. It was his only PGA Tour victory. So that's an anomaly. You're going to need course history here. You're going to need to prove that when the biggest money's on the line, you can do it. He can do it. I think Harman can too. I mean, Harman's a multiple-time winner. Back-to-back top 10s here. Incredible finishes at RBC Heritage. Great finishes at Wyndham. Great finishes at the Amex. I'll buy Harman at 6,900. He was horrendous with the putter in his hand a couple of weeks ago to miss the cut. But, do you expect a PGA Tour pro to miss 10 more 5-footers this week? Probably not. So, yeah, I think he's fair play. Oh, and one more, Edge, by the way, and to Edge and the viewers. I asked you what you were doing in 2011. What were you doing in 2003? You can probably remember that, right?
Just graduating college. I was celebrating the Pat White and Steve Slayton and the Mountaineers. Going to the Gator Bowl.
Yeah, that was a great
Getting
year.
our asses whooped by Maryland, but hey, we went.
I know. I almost got thrown out of the house then.
Yeah, I remember that.
03. There was potentially some of our viewers were still in diapers in 03. That's the last time Sergio missed the cut here. 17 straight cuts made for Sergio Garcia with 5 top 5s.
I mean, that's incredible. That is tough to bet against right there, especially if you just need somebody to fill a $7,400 slot or whatever he's at. I know he's mid 7,000s there. So good stuff here. Bones DK, any final thoughts? We want to wrap this thing up here in just the next few minutes, but any final thoughts on the Sawgrass and the TPC Players Championship?
That's a good take on Sergio. Like 6 for 6 this week is going to be very, 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 very difficult. And last week it was kind of like a lot of guys got in with the +3 and everything, and I had a 6 for 6 and didn't fucking cash. So I'm I'm upset. What do you want to say? I'm upset.
Wow, I thought this was a PG-13.
Well, I'm 6 for 6 2 times this year, Edge, and I've cashed in $0 on the 2 6 for 6s, and I'm just upset. Yeah, I'm fired up, and I said that on my Twitter. I'm fired up right now. I like Sergio to make the cut. I think Corey Connors is a great player. He's kind of like rounding into form right now, coming up 11th place at the Arnold Palmer. Only 10 bogeys, a couple birdies. So, yeah, he looks pretty good. Taylor Gooch, our boy, Gooch, 5th place last year and then coming off a great finish. So, I don't see why we would overlook Gooch here. Again, like always, his driver does worry me a little bit. But, hey, coming off a 7th place at the Arnold and a 5th place last year at the Players, clearly he's in good enough form. I think he was in, like, solo second for a little bit. One other guy I wanted to mention for the listeners, I do like Chris Kirk, by the way, but Alex Noren, another guy with really good history here, coming off a 5th at the Honda and a 6th at the Waste Management. Only 6 bogeys. 6 bogeys. Look at this double bogey avoidance here. 0 in his last 3 tournaments. I think Noren is extremely underpriced for being one of the top players in the world not too long ago. Talking about a guy just that knows how to play this tournament well, and he does have good history as well. So give me some Alex Noren 7K. It's one of the easiest plays I've seen in a long time.
Didn't you say last week, Wildman, that Alex Noren was the most overpriced golfer you'd ever seen in DraftKings history?
I did, and he had a good finish. I mean, look at those finishes, and his price went down like 25%. I mean, I agree here. I think, he's a guy that's finished in the top 10. By the way, did you know Alex Noren was once 8th in the official world rankings?
If you listened last week,
before. I think we've heard that before.
Hey, I want to give you, I feel like the flyer of the week is on a resurgence. And I feel like this might be the one that really brings it back to life.
I don't even have it queued up.
We're talking about bogey avoidance, right? We're talking about the importance of it. The last player to win on the PGA Tour without making a bogey was JT Poston. He is 2 for 2 here. He's never finished outside of the top 22 at the Players. He's lethal with a wedge when he's hot. Clearly can go on anti-bogey streaks. $6,100. If you're playing the Morikawas, the Rahms, trying to get those guys in, this is a good spot to be, in my opinion. I'd go with JT Poston at 6,100.
Tell us when you're dropping the cheat sheet, and give us your final thoughts here, Bones DK,
Yes.
on the Sawgrass.
Yeah, I got some feedback for not posting it last week, but hey, how about this? Our podcast had over 100 views again. I was trying to, promote the podcast there a little bit, and just still thank you for all the listens. I'll get the top plays out, and I should have posted them last week because it was probably the best top plays that we've ever posted. I'm serious, man. That was awesome. We should have won $1 million last week. For some reason, we keep getting one guy like Sean O'Hare that, really let me down, but that was $6,100. What can I say about Sean O'Hare?
Hey, Rob, is that a Scotty Scheffler hat?
Yeah. Hey, people are almost getting annoyed by my Scotty Scheffler love at this point. I went to St. Clair Country Club with Marshall Brown the other day. Huge shout out for him, giving me the round. Dave Brown, the pro there. I see him as I'm walking onto the hole one, and Dave Brown shouts over to me, "Who you got this week, Scotty?" That was on Sunday before Scotty won. And guess what? Scotty won. I said, yes, I do.
Didn't Dave Brown make the cut at the U.S. Senior Open a couple years ago?
Yes, and Marshall Brown was the caddy for him. But Dave Brown did chip in for birdie, actually contended. Incredible golfer, Dave Brown.
I actually caddied for Dave Brown. I caddied for him when I was 14, 15, 16 years old at the St. Clair Country Club. He's been playing golf a long time, and he's an excellent golfer. Played on the senior tour, as you guys just said. I have 13 names, actually. I take little notes here. I have 13 names written down where I thought you guys gave some great nuggets. So you got to be feeling good this week, Wildman.
Yeah, I feel great. I mean, this is, I feel like where we can eat, the majors. You gotta trust the eye test on some of these things, and the guys that can play for the big money and can make those putts down the stretch. So yeah, feeling really good about the week, and we think that we're going to be up there at the top this week.
We hope that, as Bones DK Golf said earlier, we hope that DJ doesn't get drug tested before the tournament. We hope that none of our listening audience or any of us get drug tested before the tournament also. It's coming up this weekend. The Players Championship, Sawgrass in Florida. For Bones DK Golf and TW Man, my name is Edge. Thank you guys so much for listening, and good luck this week at the Players Championship.
Yeah, let's get one,
Let's go, Edge. Wildman, let's go, baby.